So let's talk about this ROM here, TeamEOS, the rival Nightlies. This particular version, as you can see here, is the June 10th build. It's Android 4.4.3. It is using the official KitKat sources, and I gotta tell you, going into this ROM, I expected to have a lot of problems because it was fairly new to me and fairly new to the forums for the LG G2, and I have been pleasantly surprised. So why would you want to use TeamEOS? Well, one, it's very lightweight, fast, and very functional. It kind of reminds me a lot of what Paranoid Android was going for, except for you have a lot more, well, a few more advanced type features in here, including this down here at the bottom, which is the NX 2.0 gesture navigation. You also have EOS Weather, which I disabled while doing some battery experiments, but I'll show you what that is. You get some battery modification mods. You get the old CM engine, well, the TM version, T-Mobile version, and a few other tweaks here and there, but it's mostly very lightweight. So first and foremost, I want to say thanks to the developers who brought us this ROM, Evil Dobe, if I'm saying his name right, and Recon Freak. They do a great job. They're very responsive, very pleasant, and this ROM has been extremely stable. Let's go through the features of this ROM. So if you're looking for what you can customize here, first of all, let me say that the hotspot does work. The network found my APNs, no problem. Didn't have to do any work there. Text messaging worked, multimedia messaging worked. Going into the first settings here, you got your quick pull down options as you're used to seeing. Get your tiles and layout, and here are your tile options. I'm not using camera, LT, NFC orientation, sync, volume, Wi-Fi AP, and here you go. What you'll notice here that's missing is immersive mode, okay, or expanded desktop. There is no option for either one of those. I'm not sure if they're going to bring that in there or not eventually. You got your sound modes for your tile, and there you go. We're going to go back, status bar. You got your brightness control, so you can control your brightness by sliding across the status bar. Double tap for screen off, that works fine. Got your battery styles, clock position, AM PM style, network status. Here's your weather down here. So let's see if I can get it to show up here. I have it disabled back over here. Hold on. We'll keep going. Navigation, here's your NX navigation interface. Here's where you can set different motions down here, gestures down here, do different things. You got your swipe up, which I have set to take me backwards. You have your long swipe. It's also back. You got your long swipe, which I have set to turn the phone off. Swipe this way for home. Double tap for recents. And overall, I find it's pretty responsive. Every once in a while, I find myself getting it wrong, but there are plenty of customizations here. As you can see, you got a right short swipe, a left short swipe, a right long swipe, a left long swipe, and it's these long and short swipes that sometimes get confusing. And this double tap. Single tap is always going to be home, and you've got long press for menu. Okay, but you can change the thresholds for the long swipes. And you can also change the height of this bar here. Okay, make it taller, make it smaller. Continuing on, we got system. Let me show you the weather thing here. So we're going to go ahead and turn it on. I had it turned off. Like I said, I was trying to play around with some battery tests. We'll hit reset over here, or refresh rather over here. We'll get a refresh. And while that's going, we'll continue on. You see there's the, because I put that persistent notification there, but that's what it is right there. Okay, so you can have that always there. It's nice, it's convenient. If you don't have a widget that you like to get it from, here's your power menu, your display and power options, and I just showed you the weather options. Okay, themes are the T-Mobile theme engine, and that's pretty much the only real customization that you get out of this ROM that you don't get another one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the app here, and I'm going to show you some scrolling. And I'm going to tell you that the only time I had a crash in this ROM was I was coming out of a fitness app, and the Google search crashed. Well, here's the deal. I posted the logcat, I ran a logcat, posted the logcat in the forums, and almost immediately I had a response from Evil Dobe. Not only did I have a response from Evil Dobe, but he went out of his way to download the same app that I was using. See, very responsive scrolling. This is a very fast ROM. He went out of his way to download the app that I was using and try and duplicate the issue that I was having. What we discovered, and if I had taken the time to read my own logcat, which I was very busy at work, I just didn't have time to look at it myself. I was trying to be quick and do the noob thing and just post and complain about it. Anyways, he quickly pointed out that the light flow was causing the issue, that it was trying to post up a notification when there was no notification to post up, and that's what caused the issue. That's the only crash I've had on this ROM. I'm not kidding you. It's very impressive. Netflix works. The only thing is, again, I had some high battery drain with Netflix. Temps do seem to be a little bit higher with prolonged usage with this ROM, but it also cools down pretty quick. We're at light usage, 42 degrees. This is pretty average, but if I was playing a game or even surfing Facebook for about 15-20 minutes, you'll notice it gets real warm. I've seen it peg out around 60-65 degrees before I just turn the screen off and let it cool down. Tethering does work. RAM usage, I'll show you the free RAM here. There you go, 1.1 free gigs of RAM. I am using ART right now. I started out using Dalvik, as I'll show you with some benchmarks. And I'll go ahead and show you the double tap to sleep works on the status bar. But double tap on the lock screen does not put the phone back to sleep. You have to do it back up here at the status bar. That's a fix that came out a few months ago that most other ROMs have incorporated. This one has not yet. I'm sure it will, though. I did not test this camera because it is the Google camera that I'm using, and if you want to see my review on the Google camera, check out my Modi ROM review and you will see an in-depth on the Google Play camera. I had no issues with the Google Play Store. All my apps loaded no problem. A2DP we'll talk about here after we go to the benchmarks and battery life. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and run a quick benchmark here. We'll let that go. See what we come up with. Alright, so here we go. We just finished the benchmark. We got 32,364. About on par with what we should have with stock. And this is not a stock-based ROM. This is an AOSP CM-based ROM. And we'll do the details. And there you go. Alright, so we're going to go through these benchmarks and talk about wake locks. So you can see down here, we try to match up the screen on time with the awake time. And you can see I have a lot of awake over here. So I was doing a lot of research to figure out what was going on there. Of course, this Wi-Fi is because of a setting that I had. Experimenting, I did change it. But even with all the wake locks, we had 4 hours and 41 minutes of screen on time. Still had 5% battery left. Still very good. Here's another battery test. Well, that's actually the first page there. It shows you the breakdown of what I was doing to eat the battery up. These were the wake clocks that I had. Email and Google Play services seem to be really active. 4 hours on the email. I actually had to force close the email app a couple times. For some reason, it was continuously waking up the phone, as you can see here. Continuing to sync. And it might have also had something to do with the Wi-Fi network that I was on. It might have been blocking the access, causing it to continue to keep trying over and over again. I did troubleshoot this. I did not report in the forums because I think this was actually Microsoft Exchange email thing going on with my Wi-Fi here at work. This is kind of funky how it kind of straightened out here, and then I didn't see a reboot, but it said I had a reboot there. That's what that line usually indicates, and then drop off there. I think what happened here was some inaccurate battery reporting, because I did have this phone with me and not in my pocket during this time frame here because I was traveling, and I just don't see how I didn't see a reboot. I don't see how that happened. I just think that was inaccurate battery reporting. As you can see through here, again, we're looking at screen on and awake. You see how it doesn't line up. But even with that, 14% battery life left, 3 hours and 43 minutes screen on time. Not the best, but still pretty good. Netflix drained the battery. This day was with an hour of Netflix usage. Just drained the battery. I mean, in an hour time, I lost 20 22% battery life just from an hour of streaming. So that was kind of unusual. And again, you can see here I'm trying to fix the email. It's still pretty high, 45% awake time. And you get your Google Play services, the snip collector here. That's only at 24 minutes, so that's not terrible. This 10, 13, and 32 minutes. Here, back over here to benchmark, we got 31,646, so not bad. 10,688. I think there's an issue with Quadrant and doing an accurate benchmark on a CM or an AOSP based ROM, because it seems like consistently benches lower, even though Antutu seems to be more on par with what you're supposed to get with the LG G2. And this is on ART right here, so you got 32,427 on ART, and on ART you got 11,370. This has something to do with the LGD and JDI panels. So if you understand hex, well, okay. This doesn't really pertain to this ROM, but there is a big issue of LGD versus JDI and these white lines issues. And this is something that we discovered that can fix an LGD panel or a JDI panel by changing these numbers here. And that's a different ROM. So let's talk about A2DP really quick. Everything worked for the most part as far as streaming music goes. The only issue I had was with my 4 Touch. It would stream music, play metadata, no problem. However, it would not do the text messaging through the head unit. Curiously enough, I could send text messages through the head unit to the phone, but I could not receive them. So that was an issue I never could get resolved. I tried unsyncing and resyncing. Tried clearing the cache. Tried reinstalling the ROM again. Still no luck. But it worked just fine on Kia Uvo as well. It streamed the music no problem, shared the metadata no problem, and actually was very quick to pair and quick to stream, and the sound quality was more than acceptable for what you come to expect from A2DP. No flaws, no issues. And the Google Play Music didn't seem to have that problem where it just stops playing and gives you an error where you have to skip to the next song. We're going to go ahead and do a real quick boot test. The phone is completely off. I'm going to turn it on. I'll start the timer. While we're doing that, I'm going to talk about the form. This form is relatively new, so it's very short, 130 posts. I used to talk about how many pages it was until a user posted something that made a lot of sense. You can change, you can customize how many posts you have per page, so page count doesn't really make a difference. I do have the link to the form posted in the description below. And here we are, 25 seconds, and well, 25.61 seconds. Show you here, focus in. Alright, and this ROM is brought to you again by Recon Freak and Evil Dobe. Excellent ROM, pretty friendly. They're very responsive when you post a problem in there, and I like seeing that because they're just very involved with this ROM. I hope you found this video useful. If so, thumbs up. If you have any questions, please ask. I do keep a backup of this ROM so I can go back and answer any questions that you have.